Market Takers and Queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode, I will show you why I bought the market on Bitcoin at 23,655, and I also bought the market on Aave. What I did on Bitcoin was that I took the Fibonacci and I had limit order at the 50%. Market came back down, exactly activated my buy limit order, and then now the market is on its way to the upside. On the lower time frames, we could also see that the market broke above this previous lower high and can now potentially create it as a new higher low for then see the market continue back up to higher targets. And I'll show you exactly why I took the trade on Aave. Don't forget that I'm no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please continue looking at this video and I'll show you exactly why I took the trade on BTC and Aave, and I'll show you what I potentially can see happen now on Bitcoin also. Let's look at Aave. I went into a market execution today at $110.05. I had my take profit at 130. I'll show you soon why. So bought the market on BTC. I had a buy limit order at 23,655, and you can see how perfectly the market came back down. Don't forget that you can also receive the best bonus available right now on BYBIT up to $4,450 by using the link in the description down below the video. You also have it right here in the corner. Great thing with BYBIT is the low fees that we have while we're holding our positions for a little bit of a longer time. So we're looking at the 2-daily chart, and we have Fibonacci levels now at 25,600 and 26,980. Go down to the lower time frames. As I spoke about before, we saw the market gave us higher lows, or we're continuing to create higher lows. And during the live stream that we did have today, what I did was that I took the Fibonacci from 22,847 back up to the high at 24,567. We saw how the market came back down, retested at 50%, and that was also the break of the resistance. So the difference between this this break that we did have right here, if we go back in time, you can see how the market gave us the breakout candle, and we also saw the next candlestick breaking below the breakout candle, and we had some huge volatility on these two candlesticks right away after this huge break, right? The same thing here. We saw the market break above, and we had the market having big momentum, and we broke below this level. This time the market broke above it, we came back down, and we closed above the resistance again. And you can see how this is so much bigger of a break than we had these small breaks from the resistance. So I was pretty sure when I went into a buy position right here that when I saw that this closed like this on the lower time frames, we can also see more clear how it actually looked. So this was the candlestick right here that activated my trade, and then we saw the market climb above this previous resistance again. Another thing that we also spoke about on today's live stream was that, so we spoke about that if we're breaking above the 61.8% at around 23,890, and that is also combined with the break of structure, because now remember, we came back down, we retested at 50%, market then slowly instead it did climb up. We didn't respect these Fibonacci levels as a lower high. We saw the market broke above it. We never had the power to come back down and retest it, but I was already in a buy position. Saw the market broke above the resistance trend line, so we're not going to use this Fibonacci anymore because the market broke structure now. We broke the last lower high right here at 23,974. What could potentially happen is that we now drag another Fibonacci from 23,813 back up to the high at 24,223, and you can see how perfectly now, I didn't even think about this, how perfectly the 50 and 61.8% is exactly combined with the lower high that we actually did break. So if we see that the market now reverses back down 24,013 or 23,962, everything obviously depends on how this 1 hourly candle is closing, because it just opened while I'm recording it. But go down to the lower time frames, you can already see how the market gave us one very high, a higher low. But if we would see that the market have a little bit more momentum to the downside, because it can happen, we can pull back down. We only see a small pullback now. We can take this one away and we'll drag another Fibonacci, and we'll drag it from 23,983 back up to the high at 24,230. You can already see how the market came back down and retested this as a higher low. I can expect the market to drop a little bit now because we saw the market break. So this is actually a great other buy opportunity for me if the market pulls back down to one of these Fibonacci levels and we see the market actually retesting them. That can be the continuation back to the upside. So just a little bit more patient now. Just let the market pull back down. If we would see that we have the market have a big momentum and we're breaking below 23,983, which is also the previous lower high, because we need to have this in mind, this can actually be where we see the market have a little bit more momentum to the downside. So let's drag another fib just in case this can happen. So we drag it from 23,662 back up to the high at 24,225. So if we see that the market break below 23,975 now around these levels, we can actually pull back down to retest potentially 23,940 or 23,875 for a higher low, and then a potential continuation, because right now what we're doing is that we're just following simple market structure right now. We're following market structure. We saw the market broke above this previous resistance that we did have trouble with breaking. Based on this Fibonacci that we did retest where I actually bought the market today, we have the take profit 1, 2, 3 inside, or the take profit 2 and 3 inside the Fibonacci levels where I do expect us to reverse back up to. And when we're looking at AAVE, so we are inside the Fibonacci levels now if we're basing it on the higher time frame. So we are inside 117 and $104. If we go down to the lower time frames, this was something that we spoke about on yesterday's live stream that I did have, was that because we saw the market reverse back down and we did retest the 50% at $105 based on the previous higher low combined with the higher high, that gave us another Fibonacci level that we came back down, retested. And I spoke about, if we go down even to the lower time frames, that we did have this previous support at 109, and I told you if we're breaking above it and we see a retest, this is definitely the market reversing to the upside. So when I saw that the market broke above this previous support, I went into a market execution. I was a little bit of a drawdown because the market came back down and retested these Fibonacci levels at 108 based on the Fibonacci that I took from 106 back up to 110, then just because I wanted to see what the market was supposed to do around this level. The market retested it perfectly, and now the market is on its way to the upside. So that is why I took the buy opportunity on AAVE, because we saw the market came back down, we saw the retest of the 50%, we used this previous support, turn it into what? A new support. So all of these things was only a fake out because the market needed to pull back down and retest the Fibonacci 50%. I bought the market when we were above the previous support. When the market went down a little bit, I used the Fibonacci one more time to see if the Fibonacci levels was respected. It was. So we saw that the market gave us breakup structure after we saw the retest of the Fibonacci level. So this is the reason why I took the trade on AAVE. Thank you so much, guys, for looking at this video together with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications so you know when I am live or when I do have my daily updates. Until we see each other next time, I hope that you will never doubt yourself one more time in your life. And if you do, start to practicing trusting yourself, and especially when it comes to the charts, you need to practice it for you to become good. As I said on today's live stream, if you don't know what you're doing, just continue till you know what you're doing, and don't complain, okay? Because it's a tough game and you're strong if you choose to do this, okay? I support you all the way, but you need to support yourself first, okay? Have a good day. We'll see each other later. From Sweden.